I nearly nodded at a cyclist, and that's how generous my heart is. Almost nodded to a cyclist. I don't know, I just got the heart that keeps on giving, boys. Oh, I don't know. I can't even explain that. Anyway, right then. First of all, this is just a thank you to everybody. Well, not everybody. A select 101 it is now, last time I looked. But I've reached 100 subs, which that's nice, isn't it? It is quite nice to have. To know that there are 100 people out there willing to not just watch, but are sort of anticipating the next episode. Ooh, it's good. It's a nice feeling. It feels like, I mean, I'm doing it for myself anyway. But it is nice that other people are watching. And well, what's been happening? What's been happening? Some of you who've been following my rugby videos might have noticed that there's been a gap. Woohoo! There's a gap from the Ireland game. I previewed the Ireland game. I didn't do a review of the Ireland game, even though it was great. I knew I had a funny, dark feeling in the pit of my soul that just even though we'd given Ireland a nice stuffing at Cardiff, I had a bad feeling that wasn't the end of the story, because I saw what they had to do. Wales now I'm on about. But first of all, right, we'll do a little review now. That's where I waited though, right? I waited because I knew if I'd have gone to town all about beating Ireland, I had a feeling it would have bit me in the arse then a week later. Because, the story wasn't finished, was it? Finally, Wales played and stuck it to the Irish. Now, Ireland, they showed themselves for what they are there, and this is why a lot of Welsh fans can't stand Irish rugby. Please don't, people don't think now this is Irish people and the place. I've been there a lot of times and I enjoyed myself, and the people are great. There's a lovely welcome there. It's when it comes to 80 minutes on a rugby pitch, they change. They change into something horrible. They show their lack of knowledge on the game, and it was highlighted for me on for that game. And the way they came out afterwards. I mean, there's even one guy, he's shown himself up so badly of his lack of knowledge. He made a video on YouTube highlighting where he thought Wayne Barnes had cheated Ireland. Why would Wayne Barnes care? He's English. Why would he care between Wales and Ireland? What a ridiculous claim to make. And and this was the thing. I mean, he spotted that Sexton had gone off his feet at one ruck, and he'd flown in like Superman, right? Didn't attach himself to any Welsh player, and flopped straight off his feet, sealing off the ball. That's what he was penalised for. This idiot decides to capture every Welsh player that goes off his feet. Half of them, they were rucking Irish players. They were both going away from the ball to ruck. That's how you ruck. You clear men away from the ball. And then once you're both off your feet, you're out of the game. That's the purpose of trying to ruck someone. You ruck them and hopefully you take them to ground. They cannot play that ball then, because they're out of the game once they're off their feet. So being off your feet isn't a penalty. It's if you're trying to play the ball when you're off your feet. I tell you, and this is how it goes every week in the Pro 12, boys. You're going to explain the rules to Ireland every week. And no, half the time they don't know the rules, and half the time they get decisions going for them. Honestly. And But what got me, there were so many things, right? What got me was every breakdown. That's what that video highlighted to me. Was every breakdown. That's all you could hear is the Irish whinging and moaning to the ref. And the ref tells them, number of times, shut up, be quiet, let me ref the game. And honestly, it was pathetic. And it deserved a couple of times a walk back 10 metres and a penalty for chopsing. And that was the other one as well. I mean, this guy has made a video having a go at Ireland were cheated. Hang on a minute now. At the start of that game, Wales take a 12-0 lead off the back of penalties kicked. Okay? So there's been that many penalties in a row against Ireland and not one yellow card. Now surely, after that many penalties in the opening period, well, he gave them a warning, didn't he? He gave them a warning. But who had the first yellow card? Wales. Wales had the first yellow card, yet Ireland had conceded all the penalties up until that point. And they were ignored. And in the whole of the game, Wales had 2 yellow cards, which I got no issues with, right? But Wales had 2 yellow cards and a penalty try given against them, which that was a bit dodgy in fairness, because he claimed that the maul had been pulled down, but hang on a minute, the maul had gone over the line, over the try line. Ireland were trying to ground it. So, and even if Wales had pulled it down, we're allowed to. It's over the line. And nobody has to roll away. It's a collapse maul. Right? Just once it goes over that line, it's not. It's a different set of rules, isn't it? Because Ireland are trying to get that ball down. So if it collapses, it's because Ireland are trying to get the ball down. Why would we pull it down over the line? We'd be trying to hold it up, if anything. So I thought that was a strange call, right? And if he's given a penalty try for that, well, there should have been a yellow card as like a mandatory yellow card, just like, you know, no one in particular, but just a yellow card, a team yellow card, basically. So you've got the 2 yellow cards that Wales had, and you've got a penalty try given Ireland's way, okay? And you've got Ireland moaning that the ref wasn't for Ireland, he was for Wales. How can you come to that conclusion when we've had 2 yellow cards and a penalty try against us, and Ireland had nothing? They had 15 men on our park against 14 of ours for 20 minutes. But saying that, I still had issues with Wales going to Italy. That first half just showed, you know, everything that is the problem with Gatland's tactics, right? And the second half, I'm not saying it because I'm a Scarlets fan, but yeah, they started to play the Scarlet way, and there was a try that was scored length of the field. Ken Owens turns the ball over on his own line, and it's all Scarlet hands playing the Scarlet way that score another try. We were cutting loose, and, you know, alright, it's only Italy, but yeah, it's only Italy. At half time, we were lucky to be ahead. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's only Italy, but when you're playing Gatland ball, only Italy cause you problems. In the second half, when you play, I'm sorry to do it to my club, but it's just a name that is given to that style of rugby, the Scarlet way. That is the Scarlet way, the way they played in the second half. And you could see the effect that, you know, there's a lot of Scarlet boys brought on. They've all grown up together through academy. They were playing rugby. They didn't even have to look where each other was. It was a joy to watch. And you know, and nothing against the other boys from other clubs as well. They bought into it, and you know, everybody played very well. It was a shame. You knew as soon as Italy scored in that last seconds, you just knew. All Ireland and England felt, oh, we got a chance now. Whereas one more score and it would have been too much for them. So yeah, Ireland have won it. Congratulations to them, grudgingly. That's how close it was. I don't think. I mean, Ireland, they'd be disappointed not to have yet again to have failed to win a Grand Slam. So in my eyes, you know, they have choked a bit. They should have won a Grand Slam, but they choked in Cardiff. So what can you say? If you look back at my preview of the whole Six Nations, there were some things I was right about, and there were some things that I was way off about. The things I was way off about, and what was disappointing was France. I genuinely thought and hoped there'd be a better performance than that from them. And but I was the other things I did spot was I thought, you know, Wales performed exactly how I thought they would. They surprised me a little bit in places where they did start to play better than I thought they would. But when it comes to Wales, one of the issues I brought up was at the start of the tournament was we were going into that tournament with a 22-year-old tight head. All right, he is a lot better. You know, he is something special. Samson is, right? He's way ahead of his years. But to put that much pressure on him when you've got nothing much else behind him coming in to support him, not even off the bench really, you know, proven. Once Adam Jones had gone, I could see that as a big problem, and it turned out to be so. Just as we were getting rocking and rolling, it became a problem for us. Scotland performed just as I anticipated, miserably, because no matter what they've got up front or behind, there's nothing dictating it at halfback. Their halfbacks, I've never seen halfbacks as bad as that, not even in the club game or anything. I just can't understand how they're internationals. And yeah, all right, I am laying into them, but they deserve it because they've cost their country big style. And as for that Scotland team, right, you got John Barclay at the Scarlets. Are you seriously saying that John Barclay cannot get in that Scotland side? Oh, pathetic. Now, Ireland, I mean, you know, I knew Ireland, England and Wales were always going to be. I was expecting France to be there as well, though. To be honest, I just thought it was going to be. They were in the mix. In fairness, despite this is the thing with France. I mean, they've made World Cup finals playing just the same way, terribly. England, once again. I mean, England of what they did, they could have won it. Okay. You got to remember something with England that you know. They haven't had a first 15 out all tournament. They've had injuries all the way through. I don't think they know what their first 15 is anymore. Because, you know, especially if the injuries come back. But that, you know, that's what creates good squads, isn't it? People come in, people perform. You got to get the jersey back off them, haven't you? Yeah, so there's that. Well, so the Six Nations is over, but don't pack away your inflatable daffodil and your glittery Stetson just yet. The rugby season not over, you know. Oh no. But, well, we'll see now how many people are out for the Pro 12. All the plastic Welshmen, they're probably off doing other things now for the rest of the year, aren't they? They think the rugby season's over now. So there's a bit of a debate as well. Now then, yeah, one of the main things that that final weekend for me, right? It was hyped up to be amazing. I'm sorry, I am really sorry to everybody who takes offence to this, right? The BBC, honestly, I can't think of the words to describe how amateur the BBC are in their coverage. A lot of the pundits they pick, they're dreadful. They show themselves up, Jiffy for a start, shows himself up so badly. Not just in the games live when he's commenting, but also on Scrum 5. He was schooled twice by Andy Robinson, and he made a fool of himself. He made a fool of Welsh people as well, because he's portraying that what he says is what Welsh people think, and it's embarrassing. It is really embarrassing. Andy Robinson the other day was on Scrum 5 and he was there as a guest, okay? I don't care what nationality he is, he's there as a guest. He's come to Wales and you talk like that to him. It's not funny and cheeky, Jonathan. It's not. It's rude, arrogant, and it doesn't sit right. It's awkward viewing for a Welshman to see you insult someone of another nation like that. How would you be if you went to England and you had that? And even if you did have that, it's no excuse to do it back. Andy Robinson schooled you with the World Cup winning comment back, and you made yourself look stupid. Anyway, I've gone off track again, haven't I? I don't think I'm ready for doing that yet, boys. That seems a bit cold. Yeah, my point is about the BBC more than and their coverage of the Six Nations. There's been the BBC activists have been online campaigning for it to stay free to air. Oh God, the quality of it is abysmal, right? There are that final weekend, that was ridiculous. Having 3 teams are going for the championship. You can't have them kicking off one after the other. That's just farcical. I'm not saying, and this isn't like sour grapes, because Wales didn't win it. It's not about that. It's about the integrity of the tournament. That's what I for all 3 sides. It was only good viewing to people who don't know anything about the game. To have those 3 games played at 12:30 and 3 o'clock or whatever, and then at 5 or whatever, that is just unheard of. I bet Sky and BT Sports were laughing. What are they doing? And I tell you what, right, I really hope the BBC lose the Six Nations. It's time now. They are dinosaurs. They are dinosaurs. I can't stand the BBC. Honestly, I'm glad it says, buy your fruits. You're judged on your results, right? And the BBC's results are every single sporting event that they've had, they've lost because they're crap at presenting sport. They used to be good, but they just haven't got a clue. The domestic rugby in Wales is shoved on Friday night, BBC 2, not even in HD. It's just Sky and BBC, they've got a totally different, totally opposite view on how to market their own product. I'm sick of the BBC. I'm sick of... The only things I like from the BBC. I like Eddie Butler and I like Brian Moore because they're not afraid to say things how they see it. They don't toe the party line like Jiffy and Andy Nicol. Oh God, this, you know, that sums up everything. What's wrong with the BBC? Andy Cowan Nicol. So I would love to see the game. And this is the other point here. People saying, oh, all these passionate fans in Wales, they won't be able to see it. Hang on a minute. You've got all these passionate fans in Wales, right? So die-hard fans. And they're not willing to spend to watch their team in. Well, I tell you what, right? I mean, you've got, at the regions, you've got season ticket holders, right? They pay their season ticket money. They travel whenever they can as well. I mean, I've ridden the motorbike for the Scarlets a couple of times down to France. And you're telling me now, I can do that for the Scarlets. I can ride 2,000 miles in 6 days to go and watch the Scarlets down in Toulon, right? But a Welsh fan for his country won't spend on Sky TV. Yeah, I tell you, he has such passion until you ask him to get his wallet out. It is really a joke, boys. It's a pitiful excuse. And I don't know. I don't know who's driving the agenda for this. Six Nations must be free to air. Rubbish. It's just the same as any other sport, and all the other sports are benefiting. So why shouldn't the Six Nations? Look at the British Lions. The British Lions, they've been the BBC and ITV, they didn't want to know the British Lions. It was on death's door until Sky took it over. And look what they did with it. Look what they did with it. So yeah, I that's the other thing I hope. So I probably got a fair bit of gab in there now, and you keep having a go at me about my blogs being too long. So yeah, that's the rugby one done and dusted. Scarlets now, yeah, the proper rugby starts now. Scarlets are home to Edinburgh the weekend. Must-win game. It's going to be great. I can't wait. Now the excitement starts, boys. Better crack, everything. Knowledgeable supporters. I doubt Edinburgh will bring many fans down. They never do. Which is another problem with the Pro 12. Can't wait to see the back of that as well. So, right. I'm going to leave it there now, boys. And I shall catch you maybe over the weekend. But once again, thank you for my 100 subs. It's nice to see the channel growing slowly and steadily. If there's anything you'd like to see me do or whatever, just let me know on the comments. If you've got criticisms, let me know in the comments. And yeah, like I said, I apologise. I've been a bit scarce. One of the reasons was I did hang on because I knew Ireland were going to come back somehow, so I didn't want to go to town, you know, jumping about with joy after that win. And the other reason is I have been busy. So anyway, right. I hope you're all enjoying, and I hope you all are in good health. I shall catch you on the next vid. Thank you. Ta-da!